Hello, welcome to Kathaayaana. This is Tuesday Toast, where every Tuesday I share with you quick, crunchy, bite-sized stories from various topics under the sun. In the 1960s, Walter Mischel, an American psychologist, began a groundbreaking study in mastering self control. During the experiments, Walter Mischel and his team tested hundreds of children who were in the age group of 4 to 5 years old. So, what did they do in these experiments? One researcher would bring one child into a private room, make the child sit on a chair, and in front of the child, they would place a table, and on the table, they would place a marshmallow. A marshmallow is a type of a confection, a sugary candy which children love to eat. Now, once that setup was done, the researcher would go to the child and talk. Hey kid, I am sure you like the marshmallow. Would you like to have it? The child would, of course, say, yes, I would like to. Now, the researcher would come up with his tactic. He would say, all right, you can have the marshmallow, but there is one condition. Look, I have got some urgent work to do, and so I'm going out of this room. If you can wait till I come back from the room, I will give you not just this one marshmallow which is on the table, but I will give you one more. Okay, deal? And the child would very gladly agree to the offer, to the deal. And saying so, the researcher would leave the room for 15 to 20 minutes. Now, what happened inside that room after the researcher left? Some children, as soon as the researcher closed the door, they ran to the table and took the marshmallow, they ate the marshmallow. And there were some children who waited, restrained themselves from the temptation, and gave up a few minutes later, went to the table and had the marshmallow. These children did not get a second marshmallow. But there were, of course, other type of children who waited for what seemed like the endless 15 to 20 minutes till the researcher came back, and to sustain their struggle to restrain themselves from the temptation of eating the marshmallow. Some of them would close their eyes, some of them put their heads under the arms, try to go to sleep, some of them looked here and there, talked to themselves, sang something, played some games. And when the researcher came back and saw that they had not eaten the marshmallow, as promised, they gave a second marshmallow to these children. So, what the last category of children did was they delayed their gratification. They abstained from the instant but less desirable outcomes in favor of delayed but more desirable outcomes. They thought that if I somehow try to restrain myself to eat this one, I'm going to get another one, and that is profitable to me. They understood this very well. Now, this study was famously called as this study became famous as the marshmallow test or the marshmallow study. And it did not become popular because of that sweet, because of that confection marshmallow. But the interesting part that came years later, 10 to 12 years later, these researchers tracked down the same children who were a part of these experiments, who were now adolescents or young adults. And they studied their behavior, they studied their various aspects of their lives in a number of areas. And what they found was those children at the age of 4 who were able to delay their gratification, who had eaten the marshmallow only, waited for the researcher to come back, they did very well in a number of areas. They were better at social skills, they were socially effective, they were personally effective, they could cope with stress and frustrations, they embraced challenges. Whatever the difficulties came, they would not give up. And they also scored higher in SAT examinations. And the other children who had not waited for the second marshmallow to be given to them, they did not do well in these kind of qualities. They shied away from social contacts. They were prone to jealousy and envy. They couldn't cope with stress and frustrations. So, what was the point that was extracted from this study? That The fundamental skill, the fundamental psychological skill is to resist impulse. Resisting impulse is the root of all emotional self-control. Hope you like this story. I will take your leave for now. I'll see you next Tuesday with another toast.